Okay, here we go. Chafam and Aleph, Tinan Hasam. We're going to go back to there very quickly. Not that I don't believe everyone chazard, but just to get a running head start. Tinan Hasam, learned to the Mishnah. The first one line is Oimer Kidvarov, about 14 lines from the bottom. Tinan Hasam, learned to the Mishnah. Kol ha'chayit salos. How much?
50.
That's pretty good. Kol ha'chayit salos. That'd go off of one gematris. Kol ha'chayit salos mitamin tmeimis. All chayit salos, which we don't know what that is yet, are tamei, could become tamei meis to Rav Daisa. V'chachamim aimrim midras. Ask the Gemara, midras in tamei meis loy. It's only tamei midras. V'anan tanabu learned to the Mishnah. Kolam tamei midras mitamin tamei meis. Answers the Gemara, ema af midras. It's mitame both. So that Rav Daisa holds it's only Tomas Meis. The Chachamim holds Midras. What's Midras? Midras is a Toma for something that you lie upon, you recline upon, you sit upon. So now, says the Gemara, Ma'ich Chaytzalos. Tachlis, what are these items called Chaytzalos? Amar Rav Avdimi bar Hamduri, it's Marzuvli. Shkayach, my Marzuvli. Amar Rav Abba, Mizavli, which is what? A leather flask that are used for drinking, but also is used as a pillow to recline upon, etc. Reish Lakish Omer Machatzelos Mamish. It's actual mats. Now we understand why this sugya comes into our discussion, because we're talking about mats, and that's how it's going to circle back around right now. Ve'oz the Reish Lakish l'taimei. Reish Lakish goes according to his reasoning. Again, Reish Lakish that says that a machsalos is mats, which then means we have a machlekes Rav Daisa and the Chachamim, whether this mat is only Tamei Meis or also Tomas Midras. Reish Lakish is L'Taimei. That what? Amar Reish Lakish. Now, just the one detail is you have to have a moment of patience because we're going to have a little bit of like an introduction figuring out what is the L'Taimei of Reish Lakish. So let's not get confused. You'll see what I'm talking about. Amar Reish Lakish, says Reish Lakish. Hareini kaparas Reb Chia Ubanov. I should be a kapara for Rav Chia and his children. Why? Shebetzchila originally, kishenishtach Torah mi Yisrael, when Torah was going to be forgotten from Klal Yisrael, Allah Ezra mi Bavel v'yasta. Ezra came up and he fixed the Torah. He reminded us of the Torah. That's after the Churban Rishon. Chazor v'nishtacha. Again, by the Churban by Yesheni, we were going to forget Torah. Alel Hillel Abavli v'yasta. Comes like Hillel Abavli and puts it back. Chazor v'nishtacha love. And here is where we get to the punchline that we're looking for. Rav Chia Banov.
That was the third time.
Oh, the third time was, I think, after Churban by Yesheni, later on.
So when was it?
Right after Churban by Yesheni. Rashi here, Grada, doesn't say. Hillel, he says, Shemiyom Shegol Yechanya, which is Yeshiva Mitzuya Bebavel. He doesn't say when Rav Chia was. I think it was just later on. Alu Rav Chia Banav v'Yasdua. They came along. Okay, so now with after this little bit of an introduction.
Was much later.
Yeah. Well,
I wanted to know when.
You want to know when after the Churban?
The major segment, and what was the third time?
Rav Chia, which is Chleist.
Oh, wait, Rav Chia was much later. I mean, he was the Talmud of
Yeah.
which was the last of the first of the Amorai.
He was from Eretz Yisrael?
Which is
A few hundred years later.
Okay,
Good.
years later.
Okay, good.
He was from Eretz Yisrael?
This is all Bavel, I
I
believe.
was saying, but
Why was Torah forgotten?
Why was
No, he's asking. The first one was each Churban. What happened there? It's interesting. No, it's after Zoom. I don't know. He has a good question. Rashi doesn't say. I don't know. I don't know. Just blame it on the game. Okay. Says the Gemara.
He was not from Bovel.
But after this introduction, we'll get to the history maybe tomorrow. I'll do some research on the history. But what's the point of the history? So too, Rav Chia and his children said, this is why we introduced this whole Rav Chia take over on the last line of Chafam and Aleph. Lo nechliku Rav Daisa v'chachamim. Rav Daisa and the Chachamim, that's our Mishnah. Again, Rav Daisa said it is yes to Tamei Meis. Chachamim said it's even Tamei Midras. Lo nechliku al machatzolos shel usha. They do not argue Lo nechlu Rav Daisa Chachamim machzol shel usha on a mat of usha. Why not? Shehein, as we turn over to Chafam base, because the mats of usha, everyone agrees are Tameos. Why? Look at the top Rashi.
Out.
Rashi says it's tamei even for midras. Why? Because in Usha, the mats were miyuchedes l'shchiva and not for anything else. The mats were made for lying down. Givaldik. Vishel Tiveria. They also do not argue about the mats in Tiberias. Shein Ta'irais. Why?
Cautious.
Says Rashi, because in Tiveria they made the mats harder and they didn't sit on them. Givaldik. Al manechliku. What is the machlaikas? Al shar mikai mais. Everywhere else. Mar savar. Rav Daisa holds. Kivan deleka Yosef alayu. Since they do not sit on them as much as Rashi in the third line says, the majority of people do not use them for that. Therefore, what? K'tiveria damyon. It's like Tiveria. What's Tiveria? That it's tar. Umar starving the Chachamim hold. Kivan de Mikri, the Yosef Alayu. Lemaisa. You do sit on it at times. Kedusha damyon. And it is Tamei. And it is Mekabel Tama. So again, what just happened? Let's go back for a moment. Reish Lakish said, what are chaitzalais? Machseles, a mat. Reish Lakish is litaimei. What's the litaimei? The brisa. Reish Lakish in the brisa, after giving us a lengthy introduction about the Torah being forgotten and reminded, etc., etc., Reish Lakish concluded and explained our machlaikis, Rav Daisa the Chachamim, about mats. Different types of mats. Mats of Tiveria, the mats of Usha, the mats everywhere else. But clearly, Reish Lakish is l'taimei, that he holds what are chaitzalais, machatzelas, mats. Okay, their whole lengthy thing was to prove one thing, was that a chaitzalais are mats. But now is where everything comes together. Yeah?
What is the thing? Areni kapoza
Should be a kapara, Hareni, I should be a kapara for Rav Chia and his children. Why? Because when Rav Chia and his children, at the end of this whole story,
they brought back things. What does it have to do with kapara? I just don't get.
No, Rashi doesn't say anything. You have Rashi? Yeah. Yeah. Rabbi Lachami says it's a flowery lashon that whatever happened should be dos. Yeah. It's shkach. Amar Mar. Let's go back. I don't know. I'll tell you, I have a problem when I see these things. Get to the sugya. No, I'm not saying this. I'm not saying this. You're right. It's a Rashi.
Some Agadatas do.
Yeah. It's a problem I have with the Agadatas. It does. Yeah. Vada.
In art.
We split. Yeah. Anyways, Amar Mar. This is where we're driving to. Everyone survived. Amar.
I have no choice.
They tell us those.
They didn't do lekish. I think.
Baruch Hashem.
Usually they do the shirmalis.
Amar. The whole tal is matzah. That's the best.
Boy side, the side of name.
Didn't work out last time. My sister didn't not the tal, but shirmalis.
Oh, the talus is a mess. Talus is a mess. Talus is busy falling down, ripping off her hair. The Masada Kedushin is busy playing with her shaitel.
I was lucky because my father-in-law was 6'5", so he just helped me.
Such a mess. Amar Mar. Kol hachaitzalais mitamin tmemis. Let's go back. Here it goes. Let's pull it all full circle. This is the price that we just said. These chaitzalais are mitamin tmemis of Rav Daisa. And we know already the Chachamim came along. The Chachamim said, what? Even Tamei Midras. Says the Gemara. V'hatanya, but we learned in a Braisa. V'chein ayer Rav Daisa omer kidivarav. Rav Daisa said, like his words. Like whose words? Look at Rashi. Like whose words? Says Rashi. Shel Rav Yosi. Tizu vizu. Who was Rav Yosi? Rav Yosi held that when it came to all the mats, zu vizu, yes, misachachin ba. You're allowed to use as chach. So Rav Daisa said like Rav Yosi, that mats can be used as chach. Alma, if it can be used as chach, what do we know? Lav klihu, lekabel tuma. So how can Rav Daisa and our Brisa say it's Tamei Meis? It's a beautiful kasha. Everyone it's got after all the funny words, we could zoom out and it's gavaldik kasha. Rav Yossi said everything is meis. Rav Daisa said like Rav Yossi, but Rav Daisa said, but Rav Yossi said he can use it as chach. Says the Gemara. Like kasha hadis like gadanfo, hadis less like gadanfo. Vos is das like gadanfo. Gadanfo, Rashi says, is a type. It's like a rim around the mat. So what does this rim do for us? It makes it into a kli. Oh, good. So if it has a rim, it's doch gevena kli. If it doesn't have a rim, it's neina kli, and then it does.
So they're limiting that what Rabbi Yossi said is
about very good. Rim. When Rabbi Yossi said that it can use a schach, is only a mat without a rim. Very good.
Or that Rabbi Yossi agrees to him only when there is no rim.
Oh, whatever. Yeah. In a chanami. Meisvei, one last kasha. Chayitzolos mats. Shel sham, v'shel gemi, v'shel sak, v'shel sfira, mitame, tamei, meis. All different types of materials is yes tamei different of doisa. Chachamim oimrim. It's good. Baruch Hashem. He'll get fryer. Oh, I love it. Come home, you find the episode Oreos, you throw it in, you throw dulce in.
Pickles are regular.
I live with a deep fryer in the kitchen for years. There hasn't been an item that hasn't gone in. You have to you coat them a shtickle sometimes. I look at the Sachen. When you wake up and this house smells like who knows what. Wife's like, what is going on down there? It's 2 a.m. Divrei Rav Daisa, says the Gemara. Rav Daisa says all these are Tamei Meis. Chachamim Oimrim Af Midrash. Okay. So Bish Lama Frag the Gemara. Again, we're about 10 lines down. First one line is Midrash. Bish Lama Laman Damar Marzuvli. Shel Sham V'Shel Gemi is what? Chazi Lekinta Deperi. These materials are utilized to make a big bag. So I understand.
Kinyan, we need to know every word.
I translate every word. Gemi is Gemi, and Sham is Sham, and Marzuvli is Marzuvli. So some of these actually article translates as that. I even looked it up. Some of them like, yeah.
Gemi is Gemi.
Gemi is Gemi. What's Gemi? Gemi. Sham is Sham. You want to know?
Rashi says 5.
Yeah, one is goat hair, one is horse hair. Okay. So says the Gemara, the Nakuda is all these items can be used to make bags that can carry items. So the point is, says the Gemara, I versteh that these are items that are mekabel tama. Lama, why? Because it's a bag. Gewaltig. Shel sak v'shel sfira, those materials as well. Chazita what? Legulki v'sani, a large patch or a sack. Again, another type of utensil you can make out of it. But what's the kasha? Elaman da'amar machatzeles mamish. That's according to the man da'amar. That what are chaytzalos? These bag type items. So for these bag type items, this whole brisa that lists all these interesting materials, there are different bags made of different materials. Very pashit. You have a bag made of leather, and a bag made of goat hair, and a bag made of doss hair, and everything is good. But frak the Gemara, mamish. If you're going to tell me it's a mat, so now's the problem. What's the problem? You don't make mats out of all different types of materials. Bishal, Mishal Sak, Mishal Sfira, Chazu for what? The Parsil and Afthasa, which is curtains and sieves. Whatever that means. A curtain epistos. A curtain. What's a curtain? You know.
I know, it's a sieve. I don't know what that is. Okay.
What's a sieve? It's a
like
a sifter type of item. Point of the story is, it's a mat.
Yeah,
no, you put the achleist. But the kasha is frag the Gemara bomb kasha. Shel sham v'shel gemi l'may chazi. A mat made out of sham and gemi. What can be used for? Answers the Gemara. Chazi l'nazifta zita. What's an azita? So Dr. Rashi, it's a brewing vat. When you make your beer avada, you got to cover it. So what do you cover it with? A mat of gemi. Gewaldig. Okay, we see out to this Shemaya. Weiter. Remember, tomorrow night we're finishing.